Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Austin. This is Gone in 60, and this is my 2022 Subaru WRX. Now, this last week, I was browsing the internet, browsing YouTube, and I saw a topic that I want to talk about because I found it very interesting. And as a question that was posed, is the new Subaru WRX too watered down? Well, today we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my opinions. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let's jump right into it. So is the new Subaru WRX too watered down? Let's talk about it. Let's go through some of my thoughts on it because it's not just a super straightforward question to answer. So is the Subaru WRX too watered down in its current form? I personally don't think it is. Now, a lot of people are upset that an STI wasn't released. They only increased the car by 3 horsepower, torque remained the same, like they didn't do enough, it didn't get the STI transmission, we didn't get the STI trim, and so it depends on kind of your viewpoint and where you're at on this argument or conversation. But the first point that I would like to make is Subaru knows its customers. Now, that can be a good thing, can be a bad thing, depending on how you want to look at it, but no matter what Subaru did to the looks of this car, people would have changed it or not liked it. There's never been a WRX release where everybody was just like all about it, right? But we're here to talk about, is it too watered down, which is more on the performance characteristics of it. Now, Subaru does know its customers. They know no matter how much horsepower, torque, boost, transmission, whatever they put into this car, they know that people will tune these things up to map 24 and they will push the boundaries of it. It's just the demographic, and it's the people who buy these cars. Now, I'm not saying everybody who buys them needs to tune them or might tune them, but I think Subaru knows no matter what they do, people are going to modify them anyways. Now, they increase the displacement of the engine. I think it's a less stressed engine. I think going from the 2.0 to the 2.4, they dialed back the boost. They made this car still very affordable, with a lot of things that you can tune it now, and you could tune it before, and there's people on the V8 chassis who are doing really well and making a lot of horsepower and torque, but with a VB chassis with a less stressed engine, with less boost, they've given you a very strong platform to build off of and to tune. And we all know the weak point of this car will be its transmission. So I would argue from, is it too watered down? Sure, the transmission. It would have been great to have an STI transmission. Once you kind of get above 400 wheel torque, you're really flirting with what that transmission can or can't handle, and I still think we're kind of looking at the limitations. So what's interesting to me is the stock clutch has taken all the abuse from people who have had their cars tuned. If you're following Heavy Metal Rex, you'll see that he's launched his car hundreds of times and his clutch is doing okay. And so the clutch for sure isn't the weak point, it's the transmission. Now, another performance characteristic that I do think is watered down are the brakes. The brakes on this car, they leave a lot to be desired, especially if you're going to track it, if you're going to do a lot of heavy aggressive cornering, driving through canyons, etc. The brakes are going to be a weak point. Now, Subaru recently is rolling out their new TR lineup that will have Brembo brakes and fix some of those things. And now the transmission, nothing changed there. It's still kind of the same platform, but they made the car a lot more performance oriented, and so it takes away the brakes. So kind of back to this conversation of, is it too watered down performance wise? I guess it kind of depends. If you're coming from a more powerful car, if you've had V8s before and you come to a WRX, it might feel too watered down. It might feel like, hey, it doesn't have enough power. Me personally, I've come from a Supra, I've come from all sorts of V8 muscle cars. Check out all my videos, you guys will see. But I found the power to be adequate. I liked it. I was able to get some turbo sounds. I was able to get that turbo kind of punch, and it's a very linear power band. I do wish Subaru, I do wish they would have maybe increased the RPM range to maybe 6,500 instead of 6,000. I do wish they would have maybe gave us another pound or two of boost just to be able to get a little more power. Like if they would have bumped this thing up to like maybe 300 horsepower, because there are people out there that are nervous to tune and to do a lot of that, but they want to be covered by the factory warranty. Now, depending on the parts modifications you guys do, Subaru might cover stuff, they might not, depending on how that goes. But at the end of the day, even if Subaru were to do what I just suggested, they still know people are going to take these things and dial them up to map 24. So I think it's a very interesting conversation. I think it depends on the cars you've previously driven. I think it's on what you're used to. I think it's also Subaru knows its customers and they know they're already going to tune these things up. So do I think the WRX is too watered down? I don't. I think it's a great platform. I think for the price, for the performance, characteristics, all-wheel drive, even though they didn't up the horsepower, they gave you more displacement, which means that car is using that more at the bottom end, and you don't have to use as much boost to go through the engine to generate power. So those that do want to tune it can tune it up. And people just with, front mount intercooler or just even an air intake, couple small modifications and a small tune, they're jumping up 100, 150 horsepower pretty easily. And I think that's pretty remarkable. And there's people that have been tuned on this platform now for thousands of miles, 10, 20,000 miles. So it's taking abuse and it's doing really well. Now time will tell overall how it's doing, but I don't think the WRX is too watered down. Sure, they could have added maybe some more horsepower. They could have done a few more things, but that might have also taken it to another level where it's reaching more GR Corolla status, where it's reaching more Golf R status, of all-wheel drive cars that are now pushing, mid 40s in terms of pricing. Sure, Subaru could have done that, but I think they knew their customers. And at the end of the day, you guys can hate this car all you want. You can look at it and say, it's ugly. I don't like it. It's slow. They didn't increase the performance. Go drive one. And if you go drive one and you don't like it, come back and tell me. But once you drive it, you will understand the model. You will understand that this car is actually a very good driver's car. And it checks so many boxes, guys. For the price of what you can get these at, where the inventory is at, they're still selling very well. Sales did drop off, I feel like, a little bit. The last couple months, they weren't above that $2,000 or that 2,000 units sold mark. And I was projecting throughout the year that Subaru, this platform over the last 7 years, would end up about third overall. I'm now seeing that maybe be more like fourth, depending on how it goes. But I'll make an update on that very soon. But guys, this is a great platform. Go drive one of these cars. You can find them on dealers' lots. Don't pay MSRP for them. Get them at a discount. Don't be afraid to go to another state, another dealership. But I'm telling you, the driving dynamics of this car, just from shifter feel, mechanical feel, you don't have to go through 8,000 menus to turn off traction control. It is not too watered down. It is a great recipe. It is a great car. Sure, things can always be improved out of the box, but I guarantee if you guys go drive one of these cars, you will see what this platform is all about. If you guys do think this car is too watered down, let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss it. If you agree with some of my points, let me know. As always, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. We will catch you on the next video. We hustle.